Good morning and welcome to another time of Bible teaching. Questions answered. I like questions. I do. From people who are trying to learn, or people that are trying to have an intelligent conversation. So the question I got this time was, and somebody is teaching about something that somebody else said. And the question, it was in an email form, and it's not uncommon for me to have email conversations with people. I actually prefer talking. I have no problem with phone conversations. But the question I got was, hey, Dave, I'm curious, what is your take on the 7 hills of Revelation? This particular person explained it as the 7 continental land masses that arose out of sea at creation. It's a take I honestly have never heard before. I guess the most popular take is that it's Rome, and Rome being the city of 7 hills. I've also heard it taught that it is New York City and the 7 boroughs of New York City. I don't think any of them are right. So let's dig into Scripture. Before we do, we're talking about the book of Revelation. What people have to understand is you cannot understand the book of Revelation just reading it. You cannot. It is impossible. I know somebody's out there, but. It's the apocalypse of John. What does apocalypse mean? To unveil, to reveal, to uncover. But it's done, apocalyptic literature is done using symbols, signs, references to other things in the Bible. And it doesn't tell you, hey guys, this is a picture, this is this. You have to see it. You have to know. And what you need to take to understand it is context throughout Scripture. Now, in this video, we're going to look at what do these 7 hills mean. And we're going to look at hills and mountains, and I'm going to relate them to the 7 heads and 10 horns. And look at this. We're going to show things through history from this, and possibly even show what country the Antichrist will come out of. Yes. Before we do this, I want to give you an example of something in the book of Revelation that people don't get. All right? So let's do that first, and this is what I mean about things relating back to other stories or other pictures or other things in the Bible. So let's open up our Bibles. No use having a Bible study if we don't open up the Bible. And that's something that I was thinking about. I see everything that's around, people looking for numbers. I woke up and it was this time, and they're trying to relate that number to a Bible verse in the Bible. Trying to figure out how many minutes it is from this time, or how many hours, or how many days it is from here to here, and trying to find something in the Bible about that. It's not the way we do prophecy. God told us the end from the beginning. We look to the Bible and say, wait, I see that in the world. But you got to be careful. You got to have context. So let's open up to Revelation 9 real quick. Try to do this fairly quickly. I don't do quick well, do I? All right, let's get going here. Revelation 9. And we have this, the 5th trumpet. And the 5th angel sounded, and I saw a star falling from earth to heaven. And him was given the key of a bottomless pit. And he opened the bottomless pit, and smoke arose out of the pit, and smoke like a great furnace. So the sun and the air were darkened because of the smoke of the pit. And out of the smoke came upon the earth, and to them was given and to them was given power, as the scorpions of the earth have power. And they were commanded not to harm the grass of the earth, or any green thing, or any tree. But only those men who have the seal of God on their foreheads. And they were not given authority to kill men, but to torment them for 5 months. The torment was like the torment of a scorpion when it strikes a man. Okay, what I want to concentrate here is just the mark or the seal of God on their foreheads, to be marked on the forehead, to be sealed on the forehead. Is this a physical mark What's going to be on somebody's forehead? Does somebody come around with a magic marker writing on your forehead? Um, we have no way of knowing what this is unless you can see some context elsewhere. And that's what we're going to show you. Let's go back to Ezekiel 9. Interesting, they're both nines. And read a little story in the book of Ezekiel that happened when Jerusalem fell the first time. What happened when Jerusalem fell? Babylon conquered, they surrounded the city, there was a siege, it took a while, they killed off a bunch of people and they dragged people back to Babylon. And there was three different invasions or three different times where there were battles. All right. Ezekiel, and I have trouble doing this when I'm talking. That's okay. Ezekiel 9. Let's read a story and notice about sealing on the forehead. Then he called out in my hearing with a loud voice, saying, "Let those who have charge of the city draw near, each with a deadly weapon in his hand." And suddenly 6 men came from the direction of the upper gate, which faces the north, each with a battle axe in his hand. Was Jerusalem attacked by 6 men with a battle axe? No. One man among them was clothed with linen and had a writer's inkhorn at its side, and went in and stood beside the bronze altar. Now when the glory of God of Israel had gone up from the cherubim, where it had been, to the threshold of the temple, and he called to the men clothed with linen, and had the writer's inkhorn at his side. Okay, real quick. This is about the time that the glory of God, which is Messiah, is leaving the temple. And it was never, the glory of God, Messiah, was never in the second temple. We don't see it until him coming back until Ezekiel 43, where the glory of God will reign in the midst of the children of Israel forever. Ezekiel 43, verse 7. And that's where Messiah comes through the eastern gate. Just throwing that out at you. He has not been back to this time because things were just really stunk and he couldn't be around it. Let me just keep reading here. And the Lord said to him, "Go through the midst of the city through the midst of Jerusalem, and put a mark on the foreheads of the men who sigh and cry over all the abominations that are done in it." And it's basically over people not following God's ways and doing things that God says are abominable. To the others, he said in my hearing, "Go after him through the city and kill. Do not let your eye spare or have any pity. Utterly slay old and young men, maidens and little children and women, but do not come near anyone on whom is the mark. And begin at the sanctuary." Start with the leaders, the teachers, the shepherds. So they began with the elderly who were before the temple. Did 6 men with battle axes destroy everybody in Jerusalem? Is that how it happened? No. This is symbolic. But it is God who brought Babylon as his destroyer, as you see here. There was nobody going around with an inkhorn marking people. So these markings that we see in Revelation 9 are probably not literal. And these, just as there were not 6 men with battle axes, these locust-looking things, who knows what they might be. But that's not the point. So I'm just trying to show you. And I've heard so many people talk about those markings on the forehead and these things. You have to understand and see the pictures. And there's over 550 of these in the book of Revelation. Unfortunately, I haven't seen a really good book that says 550, symbols and other things in the book of Revelation that make it apocalyptic literature. So let's go on to answer the question. And if I took what's literally written here, I'd say possibly this. Actually, I couldn't. All right, let me just start reading from 1 and we'll go down. Then one of the 7 angels, whom had 7 bowls, came and talked with me, saying to me, come and I will show you the judgment on the great harlot who sits on many waters. So a great harlot, adultery, pagan idolatry. Okay. Whenever Israel worshiped foreign gods, he called it adultery, like with a harlot, with whom the kings of the earth committed fornication, and the inhabitants on the earth, which were made drunk with the wine of her fornication. So he carried me away in spirit in the wilderness, and I saw the woman sitting on a scarlet beast. Beast can be kingdoms. Look at the four beasts of Daniel 7, which was full of names having blasphemy, with 7 heads and 10 horns. That's huge. We'll see that. 7 heads, 10 horns. The woman who was arrayed in purple. Purple is royalty, wealth. And scarlet, that's religion. That's religious orders. And adorned with gold and precious stones and pearls, having in her hand a golden cup filled with abominations and the filthiness of her fornication. If you want to do some digging, there's only one other place in the Bible that talks about a golden cup. We're not going to go there, but just throwing it out there to you. And on her forehead was written a name, Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of all harlots and the abominations of the earth. Babylon, back in Babel, Bab meaning gate, El is God. And they were building a Tower of Babel. They're trying to get to the gate of God. Actually, I think they're trying to get to the fallen angels that were locked. Babylon is the beginning of pagan idolatry. The Tower of Babel predates Egypt. This is where it starts. So it's going back to the beginning, going back to where idolatry starts, and that's why it's Babylon. So it starts way back then. And I saw the woman drunk with the blood of the saints and the blood of the martyrs of Jesus. And when I saw her, I marveled with great amazement. Okay, so let's get into the heart of this. The angel said to me, why do you marvel? I tell you the mystery of the woman and of the beast that carries her, which has 7 heads and 10 horns. Keep emphasizing that 7 heads and 10 horns. The beast you saw was and is not, and will ascend out of the bottomless pit and go to perdition. And those who dwell on the earth will marvel, those names who are not written in the book of life from the foundation of the world. So when is your name written in the book of life? From the foundation of the world. 2 theories on that. 1, God writes everybody's name in there, and then he erases the people who fall away. I don't necessarily subscribe to that. I believe that God is not only omnipresent, he is omnipresent time-wise, and he can go to the end of the life and write your name in the book of the life before it started. You can make arguments either way from this. But either way, our names are written in the book of life from the foundation of the world. And yes, you can walk. Nobody can take your salvation from you, but you can walk away. Anyhow, let me keep going. Here is a mind that has women. The 7 heads are 7 mountains on which the woman sits. I thought she sat on waters, right? She sat on waters. Now it's telling me she's sitting on mountains. They are also 7 kings. 5 have fallen. 1 is, and the other has yet to come. And when it comes, he must continue a short time. The beast that is not, is himself. It is himself also the 8th. And is of the 7 is going to perdition. Okay, this beast is the 8th. So you have these 5 have fallen, 1 is, and the other has yet to come. And when he comes, he must continue a short while. And the 8th, so there's an 8th here. And the beast that was and is not is himself also the 8th. And is of the 7 and is going to perdition. The 10 horns you saw were 10 kings who have yet to receive a kingdom. They receive authority for 1 hour as kings with the beast. So the beast is 1 hour along with these 10 kings. Let's go back to Revelation 3:10 to see what the hour is. Revelation 3:10. Because you have kept my command to persevere, I will also keep you from the hour of trial, which shall come upon the whole world to test those who dwell on the earth. This is written to the churches. This is to the church age. This hour is the 7 years of tribulation. You also see it in Matthew 24, one of the most misunderstood verses in the Bible, where it says, about that day no man knows the day or the hour. The day is a 1,000-year period, and the hour is the 7 years of tribulation. So these 10 kings that have yet to receive a kingdom will do so during tribulation, along with the beast, the Antichrist, for the 7 years of tribulation, where he's going to have power. And he is the 8th. Let's go back. So to me, it's pretty simple. See, 5 water, let me pull up the verse. It's just for the waters. She sits on waters. And the waters that you saw where the harlot sits are peoples, multitudes, nations, and tongues. These are Gentiles. Prophetically, waters are Gentiles. Land of the land is Israel. Let's go to let me show you this real quick. So waters, Gentiles, many nations, tongues, and all of this. But let's go to Matthew 24. See, when you don't understand these little things, things just don't make sense. Or they do, but you're just wrong. Coming of the Son of Man, immediately after tribulation of those days, the sun will be darkened, the moon will not give their light, and the stars will fall from heaven, and the powers of heaven will be shaken. And the sign of the Son of Man will appear in heaven, and then all the tribes of the earth will mourn. Wait. If people will take this as saying everybody all over a post-tribber's delight is this phrase, and like everybody's going to see him coming back, and everybody all over the world is going to be mourning. I'm sorry, if I've been through 7 years of tribulation, I'm still alive, I see Jesus coming, I'm celebrating. Celebrate today. Come on. I mean, it's happy time, right? It's not what this is talking about. The tribes of the earth are Israel. The mourning, you have to go back to Zechariah to understand what's being talked about. 45 verses to look through. I should find it quickly, though. Zechariah 12:10. And I will pour on the house of David and on the inhabitants of Jerusalem the spirit of grace and supplication. This is the new covenant being poured out on them. Then they will look on me, whom they pierced. Yes, they will mourn for him as one mourns for an only son, and grieve for him as one grieves for his firstborn. This is when Israel understands who Messiah is and what they missed. And it's a godly mourning. They are mourning because they missed it. They were wrong. That's the mourning you see there. Those are the ones at that point who are in Petra. And they're seeing Messiah coming back, and they're like, oh my goodness, we totally missed it. And anyhow, so let's go back to Revelation 17. So the seas are peoples, Gentile nations. The land is Israel. In the Old Testament, there's actually 2 different words for land. One means Israel, one is just land. So let's go back again to Matthew 17. Revelation 17, excuse me. So we know that this is not 7 continents coming out of the waters. The waters are peoples, and the continents didn't. Actually, the continents go back not to the beginning of the earth. Everything was all in one place. And it was during Peleg, going to Genesis, Peleg, where the continents were divided after the languages were divided. All right. Where do I want to go here? They are also, okay, so these 7 mountains are also 7 kings. 5 have fallen, 1 is, and the other has yet to come. Which of those 7 continents has yet to come? Which of the 7 hills in Rome or the 7 boroughs in New York has yet to come? Which 5 have fallen? See, we're told that these are also kings. Okay? So there's 7 heads, 7 are also 7 mountains. They are also 7 kings. 5 have fallen, 1 is, and the other is yet to come. And so a king is a kingdom. And somebody said, well, it don't have to be a kingdom. That's semantics. You can't be a king without a kingdom. Okay, let's look at it this way. Let's see what we see in Scripture. So we're going to go back and look at Isaiah 2. And we're going to show you that mountains are kingdoms. And then we'll look at what mountains fell, what mountain is the one that was when John wrote, what mountain is the mountain to come. Okay, and that's going to help us look at some things prophetically as to where the Antichrist might come from. So Isaiah 2. We're going to start at verse 1. We might be reading here a little bit. The word of the Lord, the son of Amos, the word that Isaiah, the son of Amos, saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem. Now it shall come pass in the latter days, that's actually the end of days, that the mountain of the Lord's house shall be established on top of the mountains, and shall be exalted above the hills, and all nations will flow to it. So is everybody flowing to this mountain? No. This is Messiah's kingdom. It's a mountain. And it's the tallest mountain. It's above every other mountain. Every other mountain will be subservient to it. Every other kingdom will be subservient to the Messiah's kingdom here on earth. And the other nations will flow to it. Many people shall come and say, come, let us go up to the mountain of the Lord. We're going to Jerusalem, to the house of the God of Jacob. He will teach us his ways, and we shall walk in his path. For out of Zion shall go forth the law, and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem. Wait. Does this tell us that Messiah, when he's reigning in the millennial kingdom, everybody's coming up to Jerusalem to see him, that he's going to be teaching the law? He's going to be teaching Torah? Yep, it sure does. He shall judge between the nations and rebuke many peoples. They shall beat the swords and the plowshares, and the spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up a sword against nations, neither shall they learn war anymore. If we come down here a little bit, what verse did I want to go down to? Give me a second. 10. You know what? There's no reason. Okay, look. The lofty looks of men shall be humbled. The haughtiness of men shall be bowed down. The Lord alone shall be exalted in that day. What day? The last 1,000 years. Remember the day and the hour, last 1,000 years, starting with the rapture and tribulation. For the day of the Lord of hosts shall come upon everything proud and lofty. Upon everything lifted up, it shall be brought low. Upon the cedars of Lebanon that are high and lifted up, and upon the oaks of Bashan. Does Messiah have something against trees, that he's going to cut down trees? No. The trees can be kingdoms. You see that in the book of Zechariah as well. Upon the high mountains and upon the hills that are lifted up, upon every high tower and upon every fortified wall, upon the ships of Tarshish, and that includes like up to Great Britain, and upon all the beautiful slopes. The loftiness of man shall be bowed down. So what has he got against mountains and trees? They're kingdoms. All right, back to Revelation. Revelation 17. They are kingdoms. Okay, and if you don't know that, you're thinking they're literal mountains, and yeah, there's 7 hills in Rome. Why not? Okay, the 7 hills are 7 heads. Okay, so all of our beasts have 7 heads. 7 heads, what do we get? Revelation 17, 17, 3, or 13, 12, about 7 heads. And the 7 heads go along with 10 horns. Up. Daniel, 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 and Revelation. So these 7 heads and 10 horns go right along with the 7 mountains. You following? All right. So 5 that were, 1 that is, and 1 that will be. It starts in Babylon. You have Assyria, Medo-Persian Empire. Egypt. Babylon, Egypt, Medo-Persian Empire, Assyria. What's the 5th one? What's the one? And those, it may have the wrong order. They may be wrong. These are places where the Antichrist spirit has sat on a government, on a kingdom. What's the one that was when John was speaking? When John wrote the book of Revelation, what was the biggest world power? It was Rome. But there is one that comes after Rome. What is the next biggest empire after Rome that has had, that has led people away? Think about what we read in Revelation 17, that she's basically, taking people off the wrong way, taking people away from God, drunk with the blood of her saints. So the saints are dying because of her. What country would that be? The sun never sets on the British Empire. Babylon. There's a daughter of Babylon, the United States. All right. Let me show you this. Am I right? Am I wrong? Who knows? Understand that the successions of kingdoms is throughout the Bible. Daniel, in Daniel 2, you have a statue. Okay, head, Babylon, arms, chest, Medo-Persian Empire, the belly area, Greece, Rome, the legs. You get the feet, and then you get the 10 toes. I believe the 10 toes were the 10 kings that have yet to receive a kingdom. I'm not here yet. We see here. Let's talk about the 10 kings real quick. Now let me go back. The 4 beasts of Daniel 7. The first beast, Babylon. Second beast, Medo-Persian Empire. Third beast is Greece. Fourth beast is what? Rome. You even have it in Joel 1. You get locusts, and you get. I got some notes in my paper Bible. I just want to look this up. In Joel 1, I know I'm going to a bunch of stuff. I just don't want this to be like a 2-hour video. You have 4 different types of locust in here. And actually, we will go there. Joel 1. A lot of people try to separate Joel 1 and Joel 2. The only problem is in Joel 1, you see like verse 15. Alas, for that day, for the day of the Lord is at hand. It shall come as destruction from the Almighty. That's telling you it's right, that it has end times applications. And you see this other places. But go to verse 4 here. You have 4 different types of locusts. I'm going to replace, Joel 1. Yeah, right here. And these are just different stages of locusts, and each stage does greater and greater and greater damage. Just as, and this is Babylon, Medo-Persian Empire, Greece, and Rome, each one did more and more and more damage to Israel. The chewing locust, the swarming locust, the crawling locust, and the consuming locust. 4 different stages, same basic thing. So, the 10 kings, let's look at them real quick, and then we'll try to put some things together. The 10 horns are 10 kings. This is let's go here. Okay, this is the 4th beast of Daniel 7. It's Rome, but let's read a little bit. Does this sound like Rome? Thus he said, the 4th beast shall be a 4th kingdom on earth, which shall be different from all the other kingdoms, and shall devour the whole earth, trampling it, breaking it into pieces. Remember that. Breaks it into pieces. And it's the whole earth. Did Rome ever possess the whole earth? Well, it possessed the whole known earth. Did they know about China at that point? I don't know. The 10 kings are 10 horns. Excuse me, the 10 horns are 10 kings, who shall arise from this kingdom. And after them, and another shall arise after them. Doesn't that sound like the 10 kings that we read about in Revelation? He shall be different than the first ones. He shall subdue 3 kings. Who is that little horn? It's the Antichrist. The Jews know it as Hasatan, Satan. He shall speak pompous words against the Most High, shall persecute the saints of the Most High, and intend to change the times in the law. That's the appointed times and Torah. Sounds like a great job for the man of lawlessness, not Messiah. Then the saints shall be given into his hands for times, and half a times. So this is the Antichrist in the times, and half a times when the saints are given into his hands. That's midway through tribulation when the Satan is kicked out of heaven and indwells the Antichrist. So this is on the 4th beast, that's Rome. This is not Rome. This is end times. So if this 4th beast has an end times element, so does the first 3 beasts. And in here you have a lion, a leopard, and a bear. Okay? So the 10 toes, 10 horns are 10 kings. What did it say in Revelation about the 10 kings? The 10 horns you saw are 10 kings. Same thing. Who have received no kingdom as of yet. They receive authority for 1 hour with the beast. That 1 hour is tribulation. Can this be the European Union? Can this be like some Gothic tribes from Rome? No, it can't. It's during tribulation. Let me see if I can pull this up real quick. There's a map, New World Order, 10 regional governments, images. Yep. See, the New World Order the one world government wants to break the world up into 10 regional governments. They have been talking about this since like the 40s or 50s. There was, when I first started doing prophecy, this was a lot easier to find information on. It's not as easy anymore, but you can dig it up. It's the whole world. During tribulation, they're going to break up into 10 regional governments, and the Antichrist is going to subdue 3 of them. Which 3? Well, it doesn't tell us. So we have, where do I want to go? Okay, so what we've got so far is that the 10 hit mountains are 10 kingdoms. 5 that were, 5 that are gone, 1 that is, and 1 that will be. The one that will be possibly is Great Britain, with the United States as being the daughter of Babylon. The 8th is the Antichrist kingdom during tribulation. Okay, and the 7 horns are these 7 kingdoms, and the 7 heads are is that what I said? 7 heads are the 7 kings, which are the 7 kingdoms, 5 that were, 1 that is, 1 that will be. And the 8th will be during tribulation, and the 10 horns are 10 kings that will receive a kingdom during tribulation, and they will eventually just give their power. These are of one mind, and they will give their power and authority to the beast. All right. These will make war with the Lamb, and with the Lamb, and the Lamb will overcome them. Messiah eventually will overcome them, for he is Lord of Lords, King of Kings, and those who are with him are called chosen and faithful. Amen. Why do I say the United States and Great Britain? Right. Lion, leopard, I'm spelling that wrong. Bear, the 3 beasts of Daniel 7. I am terrible at spelling. Here we go. Where do we see them? Revelation 13. I stood on the sand of the sea, Gentile nations, and I saw a beast rising up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns. On his horns, 10 crowns. These are 10 kings that are going to be coming. And on his heads, a blasphemous name. And the beast which I saw was like a leopard, with feet were like a bear, and the mouth was like a lion. The dragon gave him his power, his authority, his throne, and great authority. The dragon being Satan, this is the Antichrist. Think about this. Which one is in charge? Is it, I saw, and these are the same first 3 beasts that we see in Daniel, the lion, the leopard, and the bear. And during the tribulation kingdom, the lion, the leopard, and the bear of Daniel 7 come together as one and form one beast to form the Antichrist kingdom. So as the beast that I saw was like a leopard. His feet were like that of a bear, and his mouth was like that of a lion. Which one's in charge? The lion. London, lion. Images. London is all about lions. Oh my goodness. It is. The London is the lion. So let's go and go back to Daniel and read about that first beast in Daniel 7. The first beast was like a lion and had eagle's wings. I watched till its wings were plucked off, and it was lifted up from the earth and made to stand on 2 feet. A man's heart was given to it. I could be wrong. The lion, Great Britain. The eagle's wings that get ripped off the United States. The daughter of Babylon gets destroyed. The United States is going to get destroyed. It's given this beast is given the heart of a man, and is made to stand up on 2 feet. There's your Antichrist coming out of Great Britain. Anyhow, the video is a lot longer than I thought it would be. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got to the end. But of course, you won't hear that if you didn't. You guys take care. Have a great day. God bless you.